Hello everyone, how are you all? I am Anuradha and I am back with yet another story which is about the first pilot of India. India, as we all know, is one of the largest and fastest growing civil aviation markets globally. And as proud Indians, we only hope that India's growth never stops. With the launch of the National Civil Aviation Policy in 2016 and the UDAN scheme, the Indian government aims to enhance the regional connectivity by making air travel more affordable and accessible to smaller cities. Today, friends, I'm going to narrate a very significant chapter from a great man's life and how his childhood dream combined with grit and perseverance led to the birth of the Indian aviation industry and reach its pinnacle of glory. Viewers, it is an honor for me to narrate the story about the legendary J.R.D. Tata, also fondly called J.R.D. and J by people who knew him. J.R.D. Tata was just a 15-year-old young boy when he took a joyride in a plane in France and got hooked onto airplanes, and thereby he decided to become a pilot one day. In 1929, Mr. Tata flew a solo 3-hour flight and became the first Indian to get a flying license with the number 1 tag endorsed on it by India's first flying club. Mr. Tata, with this dream, came in contact with a South African pilot named Neville Vincent, who approached him with the idea of introducing a commercial airline in India. Mr. Tata agreed instantaneously as he believed that commercial aviation was important for India's development. At this time, he struggled to get support from the British government, who were not so keen to partake the risk in this venture. He faced a tough time convincing the Tata Group as well, but eventually he was able to convince Mr. Dorabji Tata, the then chairman of the Tata Group. The 24-year-old JRD's foresight and perseverance helped to get a meager initial investment of 2 lakhs. So, with 2 planes, 3 pilots and 3 mechanics, the Tata Air Services was launched. On 15th October 1932, Mr. Tata piloted the first domestic commercial plane carrying air mails from Karachi to Bombay with a stop at Ahmedabad for refueling. Hundreds of people gathered at the airstrip to proudly witness a historic event unfolding. Later, in October 1932, Tata Air Services also launched India's first domestic flight to carry passengers and mail operating from Bombay to Trivandrum. Wearing a pair of goggles and carrying his flying certificate, Mr. Tata's dream came true as he himself piloted the plane. Mr. Tata mentioned in one of his interviews that as they cruised towards their destination with a swift 100 miles per hour, he silently prayed for the success of the venture and safety of everyone involved. This aircraft was merely a 6-seater Miles Merlin monoplane, and the passengers had to travel while sitting on top of the mail bags as there were no seats assigned. To be noted here, the Tata Air Services faced many challenges of inadequate facilities, like operating out of a small hut with a thatched roof at the Juhu airstrip in Bombay and without a proper runway. The aircraft was often parked in an open ground and shifted to Pune when not in use to avoid getting flooded during Bombay monsoon. Viewers, a very interesting fact that I learnt as a part of my reading is that in those days the pilots would navigate by following the railway lines below. For any confusion with the routes, they carried a slide rule in their pockets. This is something we really cannot imagine given today's advanced navigation systems. Anyway, the venture in the next few years gained strength to strength, making it symbolic of service excellence. In 1948, the Tata Air Services was renamed as Air India, which spearheaded India's first overseas operations to Europe, representing the now independent India. In 1953, Air India got nationalized, though it was strongly opposed by Mr. Tata. He, being the man of principles, opposed this move as he was concerned that this move would bring bureaucracy and lethargy, and he was not ready to let the standards of Air India fall down even one bit. Therefore, for the love of his beloved project, he agreed to don the hat of Air India chairman. His passion stood the test of time, and over the next 25 years, J.R.D. Tata, functioning as the chairman of Air India, took the Indian aviation industry to such epic levels that many international airlines approached him to collaborate and emulate his high standards of service at Air India. Mr. Tata, a selfless and humble man that he was, considered the venture as his own child, and it is no wonder that we get to hear stories about how he wandered in the flights, taking notes and of the minutest details. He had no inhibitions in rolling up his sleeves and helping the crew clean a dirty counter or even a toilet. This level of inspiration and service excellence earned Air India the title of the best airline in the world by consumers from across the world. Viewers, life comes to a full circle, and how true is this? To make Air India profitable again, government decided to privatize its aviation wing. And who wins the bid to own the Maharaja? Well, who else but the Tata Group itself? This was a fitting tribute to J.R.D. Tata. With that, viewers, I hope you enjoyed this piece of interesting and inspiring story that I have shared, and we can all rightly call the Bharat Ratna J.R.D. Tata as the father of the aviation industry, as he paved the way for India's journey into the skies. A big salute to this man. Thank you, viewers.